One. How are you hearing me? Okay.
Yeah, we're hearing you good.
Oh, excellent, excellent. I'm going to fix this over here. I got to fix my audio over here. But anyway, folks, listen. We're still in Atlanta, and we're live from here in Atlanta doing the show. And I hope we've got, and I know we have some excellent information for you. But to kick us off, we're going to kick it over to Jared. Jared, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody is well. You are in the Pill Method: How to Pay Off Mortgages in 7 Years. This is an amazing room, really generational wealth shifting information in here. And please let me know if my audio ever cuts out. I'm at an Airbnb,
Well,
so
I can't hear it over here.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So my Airbnb, I'm still trying to figure out exact locations where I can be very audible. So if I ever cut out, just let me know. But I think I should be okay in
Yeah,
this
your audio
position.
sounds great, Jared.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
So let's get back into it. So
All
yeah,
right.
welcome to the pill method room. How to pay off mortgages in 7 years. That is not clickbait. That is actual factual. He has a method, which will basically save you 75% of your lifetime interest cost by paying off the right amount of payments. To get the most interest cost saved, and you're going to be able to understand amortization schedules, interest calculators, and the difference between interest rates and interest cost. So if you're in the clubhouse room, go ahead and click that greenhouse at the top. Make sure you follow the club. And then also read the about description within the Pill Method Club. It'll explain what the P, the I, the L, and the L stand for, and it'll give you some ideas of questions you can ask. This is a very interactive room, so we'd love for you to raise your hand as soon as possible and come on stage. Ask a question about your mortgage, refinancing. Should I put that big down payment on the house? Car loans, student loan debt, as well as credit card debt. Anything that has interest associated with it, there are no dumb questions. Feel free to raise your hand, come on stage. And if you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, as we Kirk, are we live streaming today?
Yes, we are.
Okay, perfect. So
All of the
if
above.
you're awesome. So if you're on the live stream, we also encourage you to write out your questions with as much detail as possible, and you will be prioritized for Don to walk through the examples live on the screen as well. If you want to see these live demonstrations, and you're on Clubhouse, if you're near iPad, laptop, or desktop. Would love for you to go ahead and slide over to that device. Type in ice10klive.com. The link is above our heads. Go ahead and just type that into your browser and then choose either YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. Choose the thumbnail that says live, and you'll be able to see the examples written out by Don. And it's super, super impactful to see that. It'll help you digest the information and understand the concepts even better. So we'd love to see you join us on there while staying on Clubhouse. So if you come on stage, you can interact on Clubhouse and see the examples live on the screen. So what we're going to do now is have Don introduce himself and talk about, what the pill method is and what you're going to be able to expect to get out of this room. While he's doing that, love for people to start raising their hands. It never fails. This room lasts 2 hours. In the last 30 minutes, we'll have five hands raised, and we won't be able to get to everybody. So if you want to come on stage, I highly recommend you do so now, and we'll put you in the queue. That being said, I'm going to pass the mic to Don, and then we'll do some quick moderator out intros and then get into the content. So, Don, you got the mic.
Hey, Don, you're muted in StreamYard. In StreamYard. Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Good morning, everyone. Listen, I'm not in my studio, so Kurt's gonna take me by the hand to make sure that everybody gets to hear and see what's going on today. My name is Don Daniel. I'm the founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And listen, as of last night, our book went to #1 on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon right now and check out the Pill Method book, it's at #1. And Kurt, I'm going to send you over. Listen, I was going to send you over some screenshots or whatever, but I'm sure you know how to do all that, so we can just put up a graphic or whatever
Sure.
uh,
Sure.
on that on that. So we got Daphne in the house. So listen, folks, what we're doing today is going over some valuable information to tell you about the fact that for the last 88 years, we've been paying 75% more interest than we need to. And guess what? We don't have to. And we're going to be going over some examples today. So come up to the stage, ask your questions about student loans, ask your questions about credit cards or car loans or mortgages, whether, you know, and I didn't get a chance to go over this yesterday, but do you realize that a 30-year mortgage is way better than a 15-year mortgage? I mean, way better. You want to get a 30, never get a 15. Did you realize that people are concerned right now about interest rates beginning to rise? And what I'm trying to tell you now is if you have a slightly higher interest rate, you can actually pay off your loan faster and cheaper with a slightly higher interest rate because of how amortization actually works. The lower the interest rate, the harder it is to pay the loan off early. I'm excited to go over some of those examples with you today. So if you got a question, come on up and ask your question. And we have some folks here in Miami. I'm sorry, I'm lost. In Atlanta, and they were here at the Get Access tour, and I'm sure we'd love to hear from some of them to get their insights into the kind of information they receive. But thank you very much for being here in the P.I.L.L Method Club. I'm anxious to take your questions. All right, Jared, back to you, sir.
All right, all right. So actually, we had somebody already on stage. So Lennon, thank you so much for coming up. Sorry for the moderators. Rather than go through the intros now, we'd love for Lennon to ask his question, and then Don go through the example, and then we can get into moderator intros. I want the audience to just understand the impact of what this room's all about, and then we can go ahead and jump into it. But while Lennon asks his question and Don goes through the intro, I highly, highly recommend that everybody click on Valley, Daphne's, Kimberly, Kurt, Candace, YCEO, 10K cards, profiles. Check out their bios, check out their replays. And I really recommend everybody follows each of them. Your hallway is curated by who you follow. And if you want to see empowered conversations about real estate, about finance, about marketing, about financial freedom, eradicating financial slavery. These are all people that you absolutely want to follow. But with that being said, this Sunday morning, I would love to just get into the content. So, Lennon, please.
Jared, sorry. I just want to say one thing, not an intro, but just to make sure that everybody knows Don Daniel is the guy you want to follow. Don Daniel is the person that's going to be speaking, but for today, he will be speaking through Kirk Nugent's microphone. That's the only thing I wanted to share. So go ahead.
Yep. So the upper left-hand corner, that's who's going to be running the show. But Lennon, please let us know what your question is. Thanks for coming up.
Hey, what's going on, brothers? Yeah, so my name is Lennon, and my wife and I are looking for a way to kind of leverage our, the equity on the property to essentially buy something else. But my question is very specific to the P.I.L.L method in comparison to the Tennessee guy. I just wanted to know, to sum it up, right? Is there a major difference between the product, and if so, what is it?
All right, that is an excellent question. So the guy that you were talking about, I believe, is talking about the debt snowball, and I'll give you a quick idea of what we're talking about, and then I'll actually show you an example of what I'm talking about. Are you actually following us on screen? Are you watching a live, Lennon?
I'm currently on Clubhouse looking at pretty much the gathering of people here. I'm not seeing any screens now.
All right.
Hey,
So
are you by
are you?
computer by chance? Lennon, you're on mute if you're speaking. Are you by a computer by chance?
I am not. I'm actually driving. I'm not gonna lie. Driving to work.
Okay. Then you'll be able to see the example on the replay. once it's published after this room. But for everybody in the room, if you want to see this example live, go to your computer, your laptop, your iPad, go to ice10klive.com, choose either YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and you'll be able to see this example live. Also, before Don gets into this example, I want to thank the 7 people that have shared this room in the hallway. Now that we're about to get into the content, we'd love for you to click that number 7, click share on Clubhouse, put in a couple of emojis or a little statement, or just click share. And I want to see that 7 go to 10, 15, 20, 30. Let's make sure your network knows about how to save 23 years plus off of their mortgage payments. This is super important for the community, especially the Black community. And I want to, basically make sure as many people can see these examples as possible. So thank you to the person that just went ahead and shared it. All the moderators, please share this room. And everybody in the audience, please share this room in the hallway. Click that plus sign as well and invite people in the room. They're going to thank you for putting them onto this information. Every person that I bring into this room looks at me as a better friend. So it's not only just no, it's real talk too. Like, they're like, Jared, man, I appreciate you for thinking about me, because you literally changed my year. Like, that's how powerful this information is. So please share the room and bless some people today with this information. With that being said, I'm back to you, Don. Sorry about that.
No, Jared. No need to apologize, man, because you keep things running here. We so appreciate you, how you pay attention to detail. I get, because of my ADD and the fact that I have Asperger's, I get so focused on what I'm talking about, I tend to forget to do those little details to make sure everybody can see the examples, and to share things in the hallway so that other people can take advantage. So, Jared, we're glad you're here. Thank you so much for what you do. So, Lennon, are you with me, sir?
I am 100%.
All right. So here's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you a quick example. I had a when we're talking about the debt snowball absolutely does work. It will pay off your debt quicker. So there is absolutely no equivocation there. It works. But the thing is, it's highly inefficient. May I explain to you what I mean by inefficient?
Break it down. Yeah.
Okay, so here's an example. So when you're paying off the debt snowball says, okay, we're going to pick a loan, and we're going to pay off a certain debt, and we pay off that debt because it's the smallest one available. So we're going to take whatever extra money we have, try to pay that debt off as quickly as possible, and then take into account the minimum payment on that debt. Let's say it's about $50. All right. So as we pay that debt off early, now we have the money that we were using to pay the debt off plus the $50 of the minimum payment. We're no longer paying to that debt because it's paid off. So we snowball all that together, and now we add all of that money plus the minimum payment to the next smallest debt. Is that how you understand how this works?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, great. And so if we keep doing that and snowballing that money, eventually we pick up steam and we pay off all the debt early. But I was talking to a client of mine, and they were quite concerned about the fact that they had $1,200 on a 12% on a 12% credit card, all right, on the 12% Visa. And they said,
Wow.
we never carry a balance on that card. We always pay it off. And they said, your program that because we have what's called an opportunity cost calculator. And so they had a $300,000 mortgage. I'm putting this in here, and their interest rate was 4%, and I'm putting that on the screen as well. So they were concerned that my program was ignoring the $1,200 at 12% on their credit card. And so they said, "Is something wrong?" I said, "Well, let's do a little bit of math." So I asked them, "Did you realize that a 12% annual rate really means 1% a month for 12 months?" And they said, "No, we didn't realize that." So what you're really being charged is 1% interest this month, not 12%. So if you pay off that card this month, you will absolutely save interest. But guess how much interest they save if they pay it off? 1% of $1,200, a whopping $12. Are you following me, Lennon?
I am. That's emphatic.
Okay. So now we're looking at their mortgage. Okay. We're looking at their mortgage, and I'm looking at the cumulative principal here on their mortgage, and it's I'm going to make it easy and go down to where it says $1,300. If they pay off $1,300 on their mortgage right now, they knock off 3 months off their mortgage, and they save nearly $3,000 in interest, Lennon.
Wow.
So the problem with the debt snowball is that it doesn't take into account interest cost when you're making the decision on which loan to attack. It just gives you the good feeling of paying off a debt. So you get good feelings. And I ask the question in my book, how much do you want to pay for your good feelings? Is this beginning to make sense?
Oh, it does indeed. Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to put on the screen, I've got John and Rebecca Jones here on the screen in the opportunity cost calculator. And I'm going to change this to years to pay off. Now, with the opportunity cost calculator, John and Rebecca have have $227,000 in debt. It's a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. They have $2,000 on the Visa at 21%, and they have a car loan at 4%, which is $25,000. So now, when we start this program, all right, based on the financial footprint that it took them to qualify for these loans. Okay, so they qualified for these loans. We're going to use the same budget, and by using that same budget, we're going to show them how to save $179,393 in interest they don't have to pay on these loans. That's where we start. We don't start with which loan to pay off first. We start with the problem with the loans in the first place. So let me ask you, Lennon, if all of your loans had 0% interest, is there any financial benefit to paying them off early?
Nope.
No. So why are we focused? Every program out there, including the guy in Tennessee, every program out there focuses on how much we owe, but not on how much it costs to manage what we owe. If we focused on the cost, we would make different financial decisions, don't you think?
I do.
Okay, so now we have $179,393 in interest that we're going to save this family. And because of that, they can pay off all of their debt, not in 30 years, but in 7.7 years, because we're focusing on how much interest they will not have to pay. And that's totally different ideas of which loan to attack, which month to do it in, which day of the month to do it on. Let me give you a quick example here of what we're talking about. Now, I'm going to go into the program here, starts in December, but I'm going to scroll down here into the current month, February. And the first loan that the program pays off is actually the Visa, okay? When it pays off the Visa has a $50 minimum payment. But we're taking money out of the savings account, all right? We were able to save up over $3,000 in savings, and now we're going to attack this loan and knock out the Visa in 1 month instead of doing it little bits at a time over maybe a year or two. So when we pay off that Visa, the program tells us that the future interest savings for knocking out that Visa is $1,736.34. So that is a valuable thing right there, knowing how much interest you save whenever you do something. So now when you pay your money, you know what you're getting for it exactly. That's what we do there. Now, if we take a look at classic debt snowball theory, I'm putting the accounts on the screen right now. If we look at the classic debt snowball theory, if we pay off the Visa, the next smallest loan would be the car loan, which is $25,000 at 4%, instead of doing anything with the mortgage, which is $200,000 at 6%. Certainly, we can pay off the car loan before the mortgage. So, debt snowball theory says let's focus on the car loan, take that $50.88, add it to the $460.41, and any extra money you may have, and let's focus on paying off this 5-year car note in about 2 years. Okay, is that how you understand how it works, Lennon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now people will say, I paid off my car note in 2 years instead of 5. I feel really good about that. But now I'm going to switch over here. So for everybody who just came into the room, Miss Kenyatta, if you're in the house, please tell people who just came into the room how they can see this example.
Hi, everyone. How you see these examples is very, very simple. You want to go to ice10klive.com, and then you want to pick from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or YouTube and share. Share the information and then apply. Go ahead, Don.
All right. So what we're going to do is go over here to preferences. All right. So I want, please, everybody, get in here quick so you can see what we're talking about. And in our program, we have a setting called Program Focus Settings. So we're going to go over to Program Focus Settings, and right now it's set to automatic. And when it's set to automatic, the program will choose how much money to pay, what month to pay it in, what day of the month to pay it on, and which loan to attack. So you always want to keep this on automatic so you can optimize your interest savings. But we have a drop down here, and we can choose which loan we want to focus on. So right now, it's on automatic, and we see in the upper windows that the mortgage is going to pay off in 7.7 years, and we're supposed to save $179,000 in interest. So watch what happens when I tell the program I want to focus on the auto loan because I want to practice debt snowball theory. So I'm going to click the auto loan. The program is going to recalculate its responses. Watch this. So now when we do this, there's a change in the program. Instead of paying off in 7.7 years, now all the debt is paid off in 7.8. So it actually takes longer. If I pay off the car loan 3 years early, it actually takes longer to pay off the loan. It goes from 7.7 to 7.8. So if I choose to pay off the car loan 3 years early by just focusing on the car loan, I don't save $179,000. I save $177,000 in interest lending. It actually cost me $2,000 to pay the loan off early, to pay that car loan off early, and just totally ignore the mortgage. Let me show you, folks, why that is. So, Lennon, were you surprised to hear that?
I am, and I'm actually heading to work right now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna mute myself, but I'm still gonna listening. I'll
Okay.
be listening to the examples and.
All right. And I'm almost done with this, but thank you very much for bringing your question to the stage, sir. I wanted to thank you before you had to cut out. But now we're getting ready to show everyone why the program does what it does. When I click on, we're going to open up the car loan so everybody can see here over to the left, we see that the interest payments on the car loan start out at $83.33. If I pay off the car loan early, I actually start saving these $80 interest payments that we don't have to pay That is why we can pay off the car loan in 2 years instead of 5 years. But to totally focus on the car loan means that all the extra money we have that and the debt snowball is going to the car loan. We're making minimum payments to the mortgage. And in that system, it's called baby step number 6. Baby step number 6 is when the mortgage is paid last. Okay, you pay off everything else, but the mortgage is paid last. So now, when we take a look at this, we're going to go into the mortgage now. While we are eliminating $80 payments on the mortgage, on the car loan, we have to ignore the fact that the interest payments on the mortgage start out at $1,000. And then it stays in the $900 range for the next 4 or 5 years. $900 every month in interest. So let me ask you, folks, does it make sense to totally focus on a loan, to pay it off, and we're killing $80 payments, and totally ignore the loan that's costing us $900 to $1,000 a month for the next 2 years? That is the problem with the debt snowball. You are going to pay off your debt faster, but it's going to cost you more money in interest than you need to pay. And on average, if you have 2 families that have the same exact financial situation, and one uses the debt snowball and the other one uses the P.I.L.L method, the family with the debt snowball will pay $50,000 to $70,000 more in interest to get their good feelings of paying off their debt, and they won't even realize that they did it. That right there is a problem, folks. That $50,000 to $70,000 that could have been saved to go into that family's building up their generational wealth has just been spent on interest that they didn't have to spend, but they didn't realize that they were spending it. That's why it didn't hurt. And folks, that's called inattentional blindness. We're blind to what we don't pay attention to. And the banks so very much need you to be blind to the fact that we're paying all of that interest and we don't have to do it. Listen, thank you very much, Lennon, for bringing that question to the stage. And Jared, we're back to you, sir.
All right, all right. And Don, if somebody wanted to get with you and your team to understand their financial situation and how they could be debt free, month, year, and date they could be debt free, how would they reach out to you?
Okay, this is how they would reach out to me. They would go to ice10klive.com. All right. So ice10klive.com. And when they get there, they would click on the button that says get a savings and earnings report. I've taken the example down off the screen. All right. So we got ice10klive.com. And then once we get there, you click on that button that says get a savings and earnings report, follow all of the directions. And once you follow those directions, we will let you into our financial form. Fill out that form, folks. And then someone from my staff will give you a call and set up a consultation. And then you will know the month, day, and year you'll be debt free and how much interest you can save. And we can discuss that interest saved, how that money can be used to build wealth for your family instead of building wealth for the bank. That's how we do that, Jared.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So, yeah, this is Don speaking in the upper left hand corner right next to me. So, if you haven't already, make sure you give him a follow, click that bell icon, and click always on. If he's on Clubhouse, he's usually in a finance room, a real estate room, or something that has to do with mindset. So, with that being said, Lennon, thank you so much for coming to the stage and asking that question. That was a great way to start off the room. And please, if you're in Clubhouse, raise your hand, come on stage. We would love to give you an answer similar to how we gave Lennon. That will also help out everybody in the audience. And if you are on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, please go ahead and write in your questions, and Kirk will make sure that you are prioritized in order. So while we wait for people to raise their hands and come on stage, let's do some quick moderator intros. And from there, we will answer the next question or put up the next example. So I'll go quickly. My name is Jared Albrecht, and I've been in tech for 15 plus years. My passion is to increase diversity in tech. If you'd like to see my content, you can go to my 10K card, jarrett10k.com. That's JARRETT10k.com, and check me out on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse. All right, I'm going to pass it over to the inventor of 10K cards, Sean Lashley.
Super good morning, family. How are you? You know, one of the best things you can do when you're living is be a solution to someone else's situation or problem. And here at the House of 10K Cards, solving your networking problem is definitely our main focus. So if you're out there, you're in business, and you're networking with others, and you're using paper card, my condolences. Get yourself a digital business card. With that said, off to you, Jared. In fact, wait, is the YCO. YCO, how are you?
All right, looks like Tiffany may be away from the mic. We'll circle back with her to see if she's around. Oh, there she is.
There she
Doing
is. There she
great.
is.
How are you doing, Sean? I love it. You get so excited about the digital products. Oh, can you?
Yeah,
We can
we
hear
can hear
you.
you.
You went out for a little bit, Queen.
Wow, that was a delay. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I apologize for that. Come back to me. There's a problem.
All right, no problem. Candace, we'd love to get a quick intro from you.
Good morning, family. Yeah, I'm a licensed broker here in Georgia and Florida. Deal with, I'm in the commercial, play mainly in the commercial field, and I deal with a lot of high net worth individuals. And then I also do capital raise, and just glad to be here supporting you, Don. And glad to see everybody. Thanks for having me.
Glad to see you too. And for those in the audience, please, while we're doing moderator intros, raise your hand and come on stage, get in the queue to ask a question. Ask a question about a refinance, your mortgage, your student loan debt, car loan debt, or your overall credit card debt situation. So raise your hand and come on stage. The stage gets crowded as Don goes through these examples. And you will get some real value for your 2022 by coming up and asking a question about your specific situation. So come on the stage. All right, up next is Kirk.
I
Morning, good
did
morning.
find a problem.
Okay, go ahead, Tiffany.
Oh, such a gentleman. Thank you. I was actually listening to myself both on YouTube and over here in Clubhouse. That was the problem. Well, I'm Tiffany, the Y CEO, and as you can see, thank God that Kirk is in the building. I'm an executive coach, a business leadership coach here. And in my physical world, I'm in the commercial property development space. So I work with developers and funders to change communities. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm also a 3-time award-winning philanthropist. I've served in a lot of different capacities. I've also traveled to Washington, D.C., had the good pleasure of seeing our esteemed former president, and also met our former First Lady, Michelle Obama. And I'm collaborating with some of the greatest minds out here in these physical streets as well as in the clubhouse streets. And I'm really excited about the opportunity that we have here today. I've also changed the law in the great state of Ohio, which makes room for you at the table. And I sued and won the largest bank in America, which did not hurt at all, now did it? So as an executive coach, I help leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, speakers to position their business for high net worth returns, ROI, going from good to great. That's what I'm good at. I'm an analyst. I'm a corporate analyst, and I absolutely love doing that. So I'm glad to be here. If you want to find out more about me, I run a couple of clubs. I'm also pinging back and forth between a phenomenal leading lady room with some of my good friends over there, Ashley and others who are just doing a phenomenal job. We've been in a 48-hour room, so we're making a massive difference. And there have been thousands who've come through there this weekend of change, and I'm really excited to hear about the Get Access tour as well. So you can find me at the YCO10K.com. Back to you, Kurt.
All right, all right.
All right, perfect. Up next is Kirk.
All right, perfect. Good to be here this morning. Good to be able to. I know you guys are having a great time over there in Atlanta. So I'm sorry I can't be with you this time, but I hope I can be with you in the next stop of the Get Access tour. Some phenomenal things that are going on. My name is Kirk Nugent. I get to serve as the producer for this show, doing the things that will enable us to have this same broadcast, this same audio, the same video going to multiple destinations: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. And of course, we're taking that audio from myself and Don and piping it into the Clubhouse room as well. Then, of course, we're taking the audio from you who are in Clubhouse and piping it back over here to the social platforms so that they can hear you as you are interacting with Don. It's a fairly interactive room, fairly interactive process, and it allows for maximum impact and visibility. And that's what me and my team help to deal with for businesses, helping them to get visibility. So if you want to learn how to harness the power of live video, please tap in with me at kirk10klive.com.
All right. So let's go with Kimberly. And again, please take this opportunity to raise your hand and come to the stage. Kirk, do we have any questions online yet?
No, we don't. We have somebody's asking us to call them. But other than that, no, we don't have anything.
We need a call-in show now. Okay, great.
All right, cool. Well, all right. Well, hey guys, let's raise our hands and come on stage. But Don, go ahead and have an example ready by the time that Credit Goddess finishes, just in case somebody doesn't come up. So Kimberly, you're up next.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberly, and I just want to tell you a little bit about my 35 years in financial services. No, I'm just kidding. I've got 35 years in financial services, but it was in helping everyone to understand how to save and plan for retirement. And along the way, what I saw was people who looked like me were disproportionately paying very high student loans. That meant that they couldn't save for their retirement. So I charted a course to understand, what does it mean to be able to get those merit scholarships, get those grants and those Pell Grants and those other opportunities so that you don't have to take out student loans. And what did I do? I applied that same methodology to my son, who graduated from Morehouse debt free and without my retirement funds. And I did that also for his friends. They've graduated, he's graduated. They all have their own LLCs, they're entrepreneurs, and they are living this dream. But you know what else they're doing? They're saving and planning for retirement. That's what I do. That's what I teach. That's what I provide education on, so that you can join me on the road to retirement. Thank you.
Awesome, love that. And Don has this amazing example called student loan larceny, that it blows everybody's mind every time they see it. And yeah, it's crazy how they give so much money to kids that have no jobs, no this, no that, no credit, and they pretty much have them paying it off forever. So yeah, it's very important what you do. Up next is Valley.
Good morning, this blissful Sunday. My name is Valley Sears Jones. I am in the great state of Texas, and we are all things real estate. I am a licensed realtor and soon to be broker. We love helping buyers fire their landlord to become the lord of their own land. We also work with investors and sellers to become liquidate assets and acquire many others. If you have a credit challenge and you are looking to purchase a home, we specialize in home ownership, so we will help you restore your credit so that you could get into a home. And I love this room for all of the great reasons that you are already hearing this morning and the rest of this morning. And you all have a great day.
Beautiful Delta Queens on the stage, Kimberly and Valley.
Oh, yes. Don't go there.
No, do go there. It's okay.
That's right, Miss
Ski
All
Wheel.
right. Up next is Kenyatta, then Credit Goddess Cleo, and then we're going to get to Rory. Thank you so much for coming to the stage, and thanks for your patience, Rory. Up to you, Kenyatta.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I like to think of myself as a real estate solutionist, meaning I can assist you as a broker in the state of Illinois, Florida, and Georgia. And I am the official lender here in this house, the P.I.L.L method. And as well as that, I can help my clients cancel this interest using the P.I.L.L method. And so tap into me if you need any of those services. And it was great seeing you, Don and Jared and Sean, 10K and Candace in Atlanta. And I just flew back in and I'm actually in my Uber now going home. So it was great. And you guys, please don't miss the next Get Access tour. It's amazing.
All right, up next is Credit Goddess. Rosalora, you there?
I'm sorry, I'm here. I'm here. Hey everyone. Happy Sunday. My name is Rosalora Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I am all things credit. I'm a business credit consultant. I help my entrepreneurs, small business owners gain up to $500,000 of line of credit and funding through their local banks and credit unions. I'm also a credit score improvement strategist. You know, the key to other people's money is to have good credibility. So I educate my clients on how to position themselves, optimize their credit profile so that way they can gain access to capital. So definitely tap in with me if any of you guys are credit challenged. I do a detailed credit analysis that tells you exactly what you need to work on to improve your credit and get yourself to that 700 and qualify for funding. So definitely tap in with me. Happy Sunday. I'm here to support my guy, Don, on the pill method. This is how you save on interest costs. I learned this from Don, although I had the idea, but I'm learning so much more as you guys come up and ask questions. So if you guys haven't, go ahead and raise your hand because we learn from all of you guys because you guys are currently in this situation to get out of it, and we learn from your experience. So definitely come on up and ask your questions. Thank you.
All right, all right. So thank you everybody for the intros. If you haven't already, make sure you check out everybody's profiles. Highly recommend giving them all a follow. Make sure you give Don a follow as well. And we're gonna get back into the questions. Thank you to the 29 people that have shared this room. If you find this information valuable and you want to bless somebody else with the examples that Don is about to share, go ahead and click that number 29, click share on Clubhouse, and drop some emojis to let people know what you're experiencing, or just click share. Thank you to the person that just shared it. This is really, really valuable to our community to save money that's going out to the banks so we can invest it into our children, invest it into our communities, into our own investments to create generational wealth. So, Rory, thank you so much for coming to the stage. Please let us know what your question is.
Good morning, Jared, and good morning, Don. I'm not sure if this has been asked recently, but I do try to come in the room pretty regularly. And I guess you're going to help solve a marriage quarrel today. We recently bought a home for $310,000, and we probably won't stay in the home long term. Probably moving in the next 3 to 5 years, and we're trying to figure out if it's worth just throwing everything at it. Does it still save us the interest because we're not staying in it long term? My husband seems to think we should just pay the minimum payments, but we don't really come from families of home ownership, and this is our first home, so we're just not sure. Should we be throwing everything at it or keeping everything in the bank if we're not looking to hold on to everything long term? Don, I'd appreciate your opinion on that, and also I was trying to run the numbers but couldn't quite get there. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Roy, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right. Are you, so listen, I want to just ask a few questions here. Now, when you say throw everything at your mortgage, what does that mean exactly to you? So we can all be on the same page.
So, my husband's income covers all of our like base bills in the base mortgage, and then
Mhm,
I run a business out of our home, out of our basement, like our
mhm.
walkout basement, and it's kind of a business that just as much as I put into it, I can make kind of thing, and um, yeah, that where does that money go, kind of thing, and I listen to
Mhm.
Don pretty regularly, and my plan was to just throw everything at that mortgage and paying off the principal in advance. But yeah, my husband seems to think that's not or like the numbers don't add up. But I can't
Okay.
prove him wrong because I don't know how to. So
All
I
right.
just know what Don
Well,
says, but I don't know how to like make that
all
look
right.
like that on paper so he understands.
Well, I'm going to put this on the screen, okay, so that we can. I've got $310,000 in a mortgage on the screen right now. What's your interest rate?
I think it's 2.48. We got a
Two
pretty good
point
interest rate.
2.48. We're going to put that
Hmm.
on there. Okay. Now, what your husband may be seeing or reading or feeling is that if we're paying off, why pay off a 2.48 mortgage with such a low interest rate? So here's the thing. Right now, when you sign that mortgage at 2.48 at $310,000, the bank wants $129,794 in interest. That's not 2.48% of what you borrowed. That's actually 41.869% of what you borrowed. Oh, different story? Different story. So now I'm just going to ask some basic questions. If it is possible to pay off this mortgage, let's say, and I say between 7 and 9 years on average, let's just say 8 years, okay? So basically, and that doesn't work exactly like this, but if we can pay it off in 8, is it conceivable we could pay off about half in 4 years? Roy?
Yeah, definitely with what I make. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so here's what we're talking about. If you're going to be in the loan for just 3 years and you make your payments, just your minimum payments for 3 years, you will have in equity an extra, you'll pay down this loan by $21,689.88. You following that?
Yes, thank you.
And it will cost you $22,289.52 in interest to do that. So in the first 3 years, you're going to pay out about that's $44,000 paid out, but you're only going to get out of that's only going to benefit you by $21,689.88. My question is to you and your husband: is that how you want to spend your $44,000?
I know the answer for me is no because I listen to you guys often. So, but I'm writing this all down so that we can have that conversation. I'm writing down
Well,
all of our
this is
numbers.
why this is why I'm asking the question. So maybe he'll watch the playback. Okay. So now, if we could pay off, all right, let's say we could pay off half the loan in 4 years. That would mean that if you sold it in 3 or 4 years, you wouldn't get this $21,000 back, but you'd have $150,000 in extra equity. That's what that means. $150,000 in equity at a much lower interest cost. So here's what I need to show folks from the very beginning. All right. So now we're going to start over. All right. And I need you to help me, Roy. But you're not watching this on screen, are you?
No, but I'll go back and watch it here
Okay.
in a little bit.
So
But
if you,
I'm writing everything down as you're going.
okay, that's okay. So here's what we're talking about. In the first month, $580.98 goes to principal. All right. And $640.67 goes to interest. So just give me a quick example, Roy. Out of 1 month, how much do you think you would be able to apply to this mortgage in 1 month?
Like
Extra.
4 to 5 thousand, 4 to 5 thousand per month, I think.
45,000?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I sell stuff online. It just depends. Like, it's seasonal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
I get you.
maybe the first quarter of the year it's a little lower, but probably
I,
average 4 to 5 per month each month.
okay. So let me point this out. if we were to pay this loan down, by, I'm looking at the cumulative principal and cumulative interest line. And because our average amortization schedule does not give us cumulative principal and cumulative interest, folks, let me tell you something. If you go to your mortgage package and you pull out your amortization schedule, you will not find these two columns, cumulative principal and cumulative interest. They're not going to be there. So to pay down that mortgage by $5,000 by following the bank's program, just making the minimum payment, it would take you 9 months to do that, and $5,722.58 in interest. So let me ask you this. Here's the next question. If you pay back a $5,000 loan, and so listen, you just paid back $5,000 in 9 months. You pay back a $5,000 loan, but you pay $5,000 in interest to do that. Isn't that 100% interest rate?
Yes, yeah, you're not paying anything then, right?
Yeah, look
I'm following
at
you.
that. That's so it cost you $5,700 to pay your loan down by $5,272. So if you were to give the bank $5,000 on top of your mortgage payment right now, you would be paid down to line 9 immediately. That would mean you're already paid down to $304,727.73. You're paid down to there in 1 month. So what would happen to all the interest between line 2 and line 9? You would save all of that interest, and it wouldn't cost you $5,722.58 to pay it down to $304,000 on line 9. It would only cost you $640.67 to give the bank the same amount of money you were going to give them anyway. But you chose to give it to them in 1 month instead of over 5 months. Do you think that might help your husband to see what we're talking about here?
Yeah, definitely. You articulated it far better than I ever could. So I just recorded everything. Thank you so much. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like I have a plan now. It's really hard to
Okay.
work without a plan. So thank you so
All
much.
right. You're so very welcome. And listen, if you want an entire plan to know exactly what to do so that you're not in a position where you're putting too much money into the debt at one time, because now that's called violating the law of diminished return. There is a point where more is too much. So if you give us a call, we can put everything into the program and then tell you the exact amount to pay, what month to pay it in, what day of the month to pay it on, to save the maximum amount of interest per dollar. And you'd be surprised, Rory, how much money will actually be built up in your reserve account, and taking a certain portion to pay down this loan, so you'll have much more equity in 3 years than you normally would at a much lower interest cost and money in the bank. See, it's not an either or. It's not we have no money in the bank, but we have it all in equity. No, we have a significant amount of money in the bank, and we have a significant amount of equity because of how we choose to use our money. We can do both at the same time. It's not either or. I think I could make you happy and your husband happy as he grows his wealth, and we grow equity at the same time. Roy, thank you for bringing that question. You're the first one who's brought this question to the stage, and I was able to go over this example where both family members can get what they want out of a situation just by knowing how. Thank you again, Roy, for bringing that question.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate your time, and I'll be in touch for sure.
Certainly. All right. Jared, back to you, sir.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Roy, for that question. Great question. Let's get the keep it moving. Up next is RC. Let us know what your question is.
Good morning. I'm kind of new to the room. I've listened here and there, but what I'm questioning is when I make contact. Okay, so let me set the premise or this. I don't know. So we pay 2.875 is our interest rate. It was a 10-year loan that started May 2020, and it was a refinance. I'm not sure if we made the best choice, but I know our interest rate went down from like 7% to 2. So that part is positive. When I called the bank to ask how much it would be to pay off our mortgage, they said $44,902.15.
Mhm.
But I thought, and when I look at the on the US Bank app, and it says that we are paying 20% interest and 80% principal, how would I save on interest? If they're saying
Okay.
I owe 44, it seems like I thought if I tried to pay it off, that the amount would be considerably lower because I was saving on interest over the next like 8 years.
Mhm.
So I'm just asking, I'm very new. I appreciate any information um, as far as how to pay it off. And I know it's kind of crazy. I will be retiring, and we have the ability to pull down a part of what we have in our pension when you
Mhm.
work 2 years over. So I was thinking for me and my husband's disabled, I'm partially disabled.
Mhm.
I kind of want to just get the mortgage out the way. So if you anything I hear, I'm sure will be beneficial. Thank you.
Okay, RC, listen, I need to ask you a few questions. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay, so let me quick understand. How much do you owe right now on the mortgage?
$44,902.15.
Okay, so now you owe 44,000 and you want to say, if I pay that off today, how much would it cost? Right?
Yes.
Okay, so now you're looking at how much you owe, and if you're looking at the amortization schedule, you're looking at all of that interest as well. Okay?
Okay.
So here's what it says in your mortgage note page. What you're talking about is doing what's called a prepayment. When you make a prepayment, it says all of the money that you make a prepayment with goes to the principal only. All right? So all of the prepayment money goes to principal only. And guess what? You skip all of those interest payments. So you're charged interest. It's like rent on your money. You're charged interest every month on the amount that you owe that month. So if we're in the month of February, all right, and you make your February mortgage payment and you're looking at the amortization schedule, you have months and months and months and months left of interest payments based on the month of March, April, May, and June and onward. Is that understandable?
I think I understand. So is it that the 44,900 or so
Mhm.
is not including the interest that I have to pay as well? Is that what that means?
Yes, that's exactly
Oh
what
my
it means.
gosh.
This is so
Thank you.
exciting.
I'm
This is
excited
so
that I
exciting.
understand it now.
So,
I
so let
didn't
me
understand it.
let me put it to you this way. Okay, since interest is like rent on your rent on your money, have you ever? So if you go out of town and you want to rent a car, all right, you rent a car for the month, and the rental car agency says Here's how much interest we're going to, here's how much we're going to charge you to rent the car for a month. Okay. And then you decide, you know
Okay.
what? We get there, and after a week, it says, oh, we don't like this place. Let's go back home. All right. So you go back
Mm-hmm.
home. Do you want to pay for the rental car for 1 week or for 1 month?
1 week.
Because that's all you used, right?
Correct.
Your mortgage is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you use their money, you have to pay them interest or rent on their money. Give them back their money, all the rent or interest stops.
Okay. So is it that with the 44,900, um, actually, if we were to keep just paying the minimum, the regular mortgage payment, we would
Mhm.
actually be paying back like 60,000 or something like that if we didn't pay it off?
Right, you would have to pay the additional interest portion along with it. Every month you're paying interest on that loan. Every month. So that you can add up all the interest. If I knew more about the loan, I could probably give you some numbers on it. But at a certain
I'm
point,
I can call her. I want to, however it is, to work with you on figuring this out because it's a
okay,
major thing for our life moving forward.
listen, I would love to do that. And here's what you do. Do you see that link at the top of the page? Um, Clubhouse simulcast link. That is ICE
Yes.
10K. Yep, ice10klive.com. If you go click on that link or put it into your browser on your computer, ice10klive.com, then you can find the button that says Get a Savings and Earnings Report. Fill out your information that we're asking you. You got to follow all the directions though, because we're trying to keep out of the we're trying to keep stuff out of the robots out of the system. All right. And so what we're
Okay.
trying to do,
Okay.
yeah, if you follow, if
Awesome.
you do that, then you will get a code. When you get that code, then put that code into your back into our computer, and it'll let you into the form. Fill out the form. Someone from my office will give you a call, and once they give you a call, then they'll set up a consultation. You'll know the month and year you can be debt free and how much interest you can save by using our system. All right. And you can, even if you don't
Okay.
use the system, you can ask a ton of questions during that time, and maybe I can give you some great advice.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, and thank you for
Thank you.
bringing that question to the stage.
All right.
All right. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Um, Not at this time. I don't want to hog the stage. I'm trying to think of what else um I might have a question about. But one question I have, I hear a lot
Hmm.
when people discuss trying to increase their credit score. Per what I see on the US Bank app, it's
Hmm.
saying like my FICO score would be 520. Is that an accurate picture, or are those just kind of fluffy ones? You hear expedients say, you sign up with us, we can boost you these many points. I don't understand how just getting an app should boost someone's score. So
You
I don't
are
know if that
in.
relates.
You are in. You're in the right space to ask that question. Credit Goddess, are you in the house?
I am. Yes.
Because she wants. So now I've learned some things about this credit score game, and what these credit scores actually mean, and some of them are good and some of them are not so good. But Credit Goddess is going to break that down for you right now, Miss RC. Go ahead, Credit Goddess, tell us about it.
All right. So your credit scores, I'm going to just tell you, there's no such thing. Credit scores help lenders and creditors define what type of borrower you are. So Now that you're in a credit game, if you have a mortgage, that's an account. If it's in good standing, meaning that you have on time payments, you have age to it, once you pay it off, you'll get credit for that. So wherever you're viewing your credit score, depending on the algorithm or depending on the calculation, you have Vantage Score 3.0, which Credit Karma gives you. Then you have FICO scores that mostly creditors and your bank will give you. Now, depending on what type of FICO it is, because you have 542 that calculates your mortgage score, you have the FICO 8 that calculates your bank card score, you have the FICO 9, which you hear Experian say, hey, you know, we will boost your credit just by, like you said, by getting the app. But it's not just the app, it's what you're adding into it as well. FICO 9 allows you to add your utility bills, your subscription, your rent, and things like that. So when you input that information, it will add those accounts into your portfolio or your profile, and then it calculates a new score based on the data that it pulls. So if you pay your rent on time and you've been paying for the past 2 years on time, then it boosts up your score because you added one more account that have positive history to it, which would then boost your score. If you add your subscription, your cable, your light, it will add additional accounts that have good data to it, which would then increase your score. But let me tell you, most lenders and most creditors do not pull from FICO 9. So, I mean, although it's good that you boost your score, but it's not accepted to every financial institution. So, you may have built your or improved your score with FICO 9, but with your FICO 8, it excludes the utility and the rent and such like that. So when you're finding that you're pulling your credit from like your bank and then Experian and it has two different scores, it depends on what accounts that is calculating, which is why you're going to always find different scores on each platform, right? So if you want to actually know where you are and where you stand with your scores, I would suggest that you pull from my FICO because it actually gives you all of the scores. It gives you your mortgage score, your auto score, your bank card score, and your FICO score. So if you want to see where you are, depending on what you're trying to apply for, like if you're trying to refinance your home or purchase a home, you want to pull from my FICO and see where you are in terms of mortgage score. So that way, when you go to a lender to apply for a mortgage, you will actually know where you stand when it comes to that, if you get what I'm saying. So don't trouble yourself with actual scores. Focus on building out your credit profile. Your credit profile is like your resume, your financial resume. They just want to see how experienced you are in paying back your loans, bottom line. And you know the history of it, you know, if you had prior history, whether you met your obligations, whether you've you know, if you're currently in relationships with a financial institution, they just want to see how well you're managing that before they open up a new relationship with you. So for those of you guys that are listening that are afraid to tap into credit, just know that if you don't have any type of experience on your credit profile, you may get denied, and if you do, just start building. That's all. You're just building relationships, but don't get too caught up on scores. Focus more on building relationships. So I hope that helped you.
It did incredibly. I appreciate that. And where can I get the playbacks of this to share with others who may not be on Clubhouse, please?
Don, you're muted.
Yeah,
All right, Jared, help her out with where she can get that information.
yeah. So if you just click the greenhouse at the top, and if you have a club, you'll see
Jared, you're cutting
house
in and
rooms.
you're cutting in and out, Jared. Yeah, he's cutting in and out. I
Okay,
don't
can you
know.
hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, yeah. So if you just click the greenhouse at the top, follow the club, you'll see the replays of all the previous rooms. And then Kirk, if you want to explain how she can see the replays on the other streaming platforms.
Absolutely, yeah, and that would be good. I think RC to see it both on Clubhouse, and if you want to share on YouTube as well. What we recommend, of course, is to follow the club. But if you go to that same card that Don was telling you about before, ice10klive.com, you're going to have a number of options there. One of them, of course, is the earnings, savings and earnings report. I think you definitely would benefit from having that session with Don where he can go over some of that stuff. But on that same card, you also have his YouTube channel. And his YouTube channel is where we are streaming this entire thing right now. And you could actually grab this video, that link for the YouTube video, send it to anybody that would want to watch it. That would give them full experience. They'll be able to see all the examples. They'll be able to hear the people in Clubhouse and their questions as well. And then, of course, they'll be able to find us again when we go live. So I recommend anybody that hits up either one of those places, whether you find Don on Clubhouse or you find him on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, just go ahead and hit the follow or subscribe button, whichever is appropriate for the given platform that you've chosen. And that way you will be notified when we go live. And we do go live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then again, of course, on Sundays, which is today. So encouraging you to do that. I think that that's a great question. You're gonna do somebody some favors by sharing this information with them. That's for sure.
All right, RC. Listen, you have this is going to be a very fortunate day for you. Do you mind if I spend just a little bit more time with you?
And I would love it. I'm so excited. Thank you so
All
much.
right. So, Credit Goddess, this is going to include you too. So, listen, Credit Goddess is kind of modest about these things. So, I'm going to toot her horn. So, here's what we're talking about. Um, you don't want to just look at your credit score, but you want to talk about get your credit profile in order. Credit profile is different from credit score. Your credit profile across the agencies may be different, but once you clean that up, you can vastly improve what the people who are issuing credit, what they see. When you control what they see, you control how much money you can get. And Credit Goddess, can you talk to us about how she can improve her credit profile and her score across the three agencies, and tell her how she can possibly get a consultation with you so you can help her to do just that? Credit Goddess, are you there?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm
Go ahead.
here. Absolutely. Now, I don't believe in giving a prescription without a diagnosis. So once I have your credit profile in front of me, I can tell you what is affecting your credit and what we need to do to improve it because everyone's credit profile is different. I find that a lot of people focus so much on score, but I like to use this analogy. If you focus so much on score and you're a freshman in this game, don't think that you can just get approved for anything because believe it or not, if you have a high credit score, you can still get denied because your credit profile is too thin. So it's all about building and it's all about time. When people ask, well, how long is it going to take me to get to 700? Well, I mean, we can get to 700, but if your credit profile is too thin, you can still get denied. So, which is why I say don't focus so much on the score. Like Don reiterate, it's all about the profile. Your profile is your resume. So if we're trying to get that six-figure job, what we need to have some past experiences. They want to see your tenureship. They want to see some accolades. They want to see if you've certified, and certification and degrees, those take time. It takes years, right, to accumulate. So that way, when you're trying to apply for that six-figure, seven-figure job, you know that you're well more than qualified than anyone that's just coming in at entry level, correct? Okay, so when we're looking at score, don't focus so much on the score, focus much on the profile. So now this is for anyone to actually get started, to jumpstart on your credit. You need about 3 revolving credit. Those are credit cards. If you don't have a credit card, then you're actually missing out on that 30%. 30% of your credit score makes up your utilization, how much credit you have left. So if you don't have a credit card, get one. And if you're not getting approved for one, if you currently have a relationship with your bank, um, get one. Banks love to offer products to you, and you've already started that relationship with them. So chances are that you'll get approved with them is high than someone that you've never built a relationship with. All of this is relationships. Okay. So you need about 3. You need one installment to jumpstart. You need a good 2 years of history, right? Because when we're looking at your credit score is made up of 24 months of data. What you've done in the last 24 months is what creditors care about. They don't care about a late payment from 5 years ago. Again, look at it as a relationship. If you cheated on your spouse a month ago, is more impactful than you cheated on your spouse 5 years ago. Okay. So when we focus so much on late payments from 5 years ago is irrelevant. They want to
Help
know
them
what
out,
you've done in
Rosalie.
the last 20. Yes. They want to know what you've done in the last 24 months. So focus on 24 months. And we're talking consistency. Okay. So that's what they want to see. Relationships that you've built within the last 24 months is what's calculated in your score. So focus on that. Now, if many of you guys are unsure of how you can get over to 680, I know a lot of people, they ask me that, how can I get to 700 and they're stuck at 680? Have me take a look at it. Let me take a look at your credit profile and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. You guys can reach me at creditgoddess10k.com. That's creditgoddess10k.com. Book a call. I can't do consultations over the DMs or, it's a lot of questions I have to ask you. Again, it's like you're coming to a credit doctor. I need to know what your symptoms are and how we're going to improve your credit health. Okay, so definitely tap in with me. Let's do a detailed credit analysis and let's get you
Okay.
started on your credit journey.
Thank you so much. And how is it that you get your true understanding of your credit profile? Is it the consultation with you where you will look at it and then be able to tell me your profile needs this kind of help? Is that what you're saying? I
Yes, that's
believe
what I'm
so.
saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Thank, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're muted,
So
John.
we're go-
Go
so
ahead.
we're going to get a diagnosis and then write a prescription. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I absolutely, I absolutely love this, that they're getting that kind of help in this room. Folks, listen, we got 65 people in here now. We've got 32 shares. Thank you so much for sharing the room. This is very, very powerful stuff. And so RC said, she just shared the room. This is amazing. She said, get in here. Jared just gave us all kinds of flames. Nina said, "Oh, listen." She said, she put two ears up and said, "Get in here to listen to this stuff." Let's see. Let's see. Shitachi said, "Pay less on debt owed in a shorter amount of time." Valley Sears Jones shared the room. Thank you, Valley. Daphne Christine shared the room. Thank you. Tanasha, or TT, as she likes to be known, shared the room with fire emojis. We are doing the pill method and love it. All right. Kurt Nugent, thank you for sharing the room. Learn how to pay off your mortgage in 7 years. Oh, man. Okay. Yolanda said yes. And so she shared the room. Thank you, Yolanda. Uh, Charles Lennon shared the room. Bro Bell shared the room. Candace shared it. Latanya shared it. Thank you so much. Anthony Meadows shared it. Oh my gosh. Roberto Johnson, thank you so much for sharing the room. YCEO shared the room. So, folks, listen, add your name to the list. Share the room. Get it out there so other people can come in here and listen to this content. Okay, folks, listen. Jared, do you mind if I take a couple of minutes to talk about the book?
That was actually going to be the next step before we got into the credit profile. So, yep.
Okay. Listen, folks, as of last night, I want to thank everyone here at the Get Access Tour. Do you realize that now, as of last night, we have the #1 best-selling book on Amazon because of
It
what
normally follow the #1 best presentation. Back to you.
Don
Oh
got a
my God.
standing ovation for the second time, you guys.
I'm not saying nothing much. I'm going
My
back on
God.
mute. I cast my vote. I'm back on mute.
Listen, folks, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for supporting the book. Thank you for supporting the pill method. But I looked on here and listen, #1 bestseller status. Oh my goodness. I'm just overwhelmed, and I want to thank you so much for what you're doing, and helping us out. And not only that, but you're getting information to help your families, help your friends, and sharing this information. Because out of 33 million titles, folks, out of 33 million titles on Amazon, only one title talks to you about how to read, understand an amortization schedule, and how to cut that interest cost. And now you're able to save that money, and not only save the money, my goodness, you can now invest your savings back into your family. And now, once we talk about that, we partner with Sean 10K Lashley, 10K Cards. All right. So, Sean, would you talk to them about your experience by listening to the Pill Method last night, and talk to us about our relationship of partnering with 10K Cards and the Pill Method, please?
All right, so Don is that brother I can't stand. I tried to kick him down the stairs. He got up. He kept moving. It doesn't matter what I try. I can't get rid of him. What up, Don?
It's called the
Guys,
superhero. He's a
guys, we
superhero.
we were to get access to her yesterday, and Don, as usual, was in his glory, breaking down how to pay off your mortgage in 7 to 9 years. The crowd went wild. The projection was on. The lights turned off, and he had the most electrifying presentation ever. And it just goes to show that your message is traveling. People are actually connecting to what you're saying, Don. And the fact that you're the number one speaker, you're the number one bestseller on Amazon. For you to grace the stage of the Get Access store, it really says a lot for you and your character, man. So for you to show up there and show it up the way you did, that was just powerful. I just want to put that piece out there. And as Kenyatta rightfully said, it's the second Get Access store in a row that you got the biggest, loudest standing ovation. So I'm co-signing that message right there. Now, guys, look, it's very simple. In our lifetime, we're only going to be remembered for the things that we do. And I'm fully aware that time is non refundable. You cannot get more time, you cannot get back your time. So I made a very conscious decision that every day of our life, we're going to incorporate ourselves and our businesses with individuals and businesses that's actually making an impact. And when we saw what Don was doing and the impact that he was having within the homeowners, we wanted to be a part of that. So not only does Don want you to pay off your mortgage quicker, but a formula to wealth is very simple. There's a few things that you have to do, and one of those things that you have to do to become wealthy is to show up correct. So while you're saving all the extras on paying on your mortgage, so step one, get a copy of the book, guys. It's a very simple copy. It's not
Step
complicated
one.
at all.
Step
When
one.
you're finished with that, click and fill out the savings and earnings report. After you fill in the savings and earnings report, is the fastest way to recognize where you are currently, and then now Don and his team can help you to create a path to getting you to paying off your mortgage much quicker. And then when that is finished, as a thank you from Don and 10K Cards, you will get yourself a digital business card. The digital business card is a very simple way of putting all of your contact points in one place. Your website, your phone number, your social media, your calendar, anything that you want. Even if you have a book to promote, you can put the book. We can put a book on the card for you. Anything that you want to promote or share with your audience, we can do that for you on the 10K card. This is 2022, guys. I'm going to be very unapologetic when it comes to ushering individuals to becoming wealthy. If you have the basic version of the 10K card, guys, which you get as a gift from Don, contact me and just tell me the word upgrade. We want to upgrade you and get you the silver version of the card, which will now increase your income. Because everyone that gets a copy of the digital business card because of you, we will give you 20%. And that 20%, you can take it now and put it towards your mortgage. You don't have to squeeze your budget. My focus is always how can we increase more income? So with the 10K card, silver card, you're gonna earn 20% every time you share your card, and someone decided to purchase one because of you. Guys, it's 2022. It's time to do something new. With that said, back to you, Don.
All right, all right. Listen, Kenyatta, a couple of things from you, uh, Kenyatta, because you are the pill method. Uh, or we've designated you as our official lender for the pill method room, and we're so happy to have somebody with your expertise in here. So, folks, if you need a business loan of any kind, whether it's residential, whether it's a church, mobile home park, even if you have a new dental office and you need some equipment, this woman can provide you the funding to get all of that done. Oh my gosh. So not only that, Kenyatta, but you are here to get access to her. Tell the folks how they can get their 10K card and then tell them your experience at the Get Access Tour.
Absolutely, and with great pleasure. So, you guys, you want to go ahead and buy the book, upload the screenshot receipt to ice10klive.com where it says I'm ready. And then you want to build out your card to your specification with your media handles, your Instagram website, phone number. Let us know where you want to receive it. And in an hour or less, the 10K card family will deliver it to you. And you'll have your very own 10K card that was like floating around the joint for valued at $100, but complimentary. And as far as my experience, I'm still overjoyed. I have not really went to sleep outside of being on the plane ride home. You guys, it's electrifying. It was such a safe space that we cried together in that room. We celebrated a win for one of our sisters named Tanya, who made her first million with the play in 90 days. Okay. we we communicated. We did everything. We networked to a high level. We did actionable steps right then and there. We weren't like just writing it down and waiting till we got home to reread it maybe. We really went the distance. um I can't say anything short of amazing. But to be a part of Don and to know that what he gives here is invaluable, but then he always have some on reserve for live performances. That right there, you guys. I just want you to know that it's layers to Don. And you really have to be with him to see it, to believe it. And that is why he consistently is the crowd's champ. He is consistently the one that, is kind of like the underdog. Nobody sees him coming. And then he knocks him out every time. And yesterday he came up to me and said, I saw you back there going crazy. It's like I never heard this stuff before. I promise you. It's like I can't. Okay, I'm muting. Okay.
Listen, thank you so much for that. And Jared, you were in the room last night. What did you notice? What did you notice during from the crowd? What did you get from the whole thing?
Yeah, no, I mean the crowd was electrified. It was a standing ovation twice. Um, you're the second to last speaker, but it was just like everybody had drank coffee because they were seeing the numbers on the screen. They were hearing your enthusiasm, your excitement. They're getting excited. So I think just your presentation by itself was worth the ticket, and that doesn't
I
include all the
agree.
yeah, it doesn't even include all the other amazing information that was presented. So yeah, man, seeing you in person is different. And you had the room captivated, and yeah, I was glad I got a chance to capture a little video of the standing ovation and everybody being excited about what you were offering. So yeah, if you have a chance to get to the next Get Access tour, highly recommend it. A lot of great networking, a lot of great information, and real friendships are being built out there as well. So yeah, congratulations on another captivating presentation.
Listen,
Congratulations. And I just want
yeah.
to let you guys know, Bruno Mars song came on, and Patricia, who is Don's wife, started a disco line, okay, that people wasn't even a part of the Get Access to it was dancing to. It's a whole vibe. I'm telling you, whenever we get together, it's a whole vibe. Hey Patricia, I see you. I love you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is so good, you guys. You're just cracking me up over here. It was such a pleasure to be here to share this information live, and to not only that, but to make sure that people got value. This is why we exist, folks. We exist to tell people the truth about lending. And not only that, but
You know
I
what,
need
Don? Can I please
what?
interject here? I
Please go
forgot
right
one more
ahead.
thing.
Yes.
And I don't know how I forgot this. But when we were talking about all the things, going on, I did not forget Jared.
Mm.
Jared and the metaverse and breaking it all down and letting us know what to buy and why to buy it. That was game changing too. Like, it's a world that nobody really knows about. And he has a very great, vast understanding of it and broke it all the way down. Again, phones were taken out. People were buying their domains right then and there. Just I'm so overwhelmed that I get to call you guys my friends and I get to be amongst you. I'm serious.
Well, listen, I
Thank
think
you. Yeah.
Jared, why don't you take a few minutes and tell us a little bit, since there's no one on the stage right now, tell us about the metaverse and what that means for the future of how we interact with each other. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I mean, the metaverse is basically, just think of it like Clubhouse, except instead of just static profile pictures in a room, we actually will have avatars where we can express our creativity with our clothes, etc. Sorry, I got the red bar. Hopefully, you can hear me okay.
We're
Hmm.
Um,
hearing you good.
and yeah, it's and you're basically in a virtual environment, like a virtual club, a virtual networking session, etc. But what it's going to do is just going to increase collaboration. It's going to be, the next version of the web, where you can actually go into storefronts, buy merchandise, network with people from all over the world. And you'll also be able to buy virtual real estate that's going to appreciate over time. So it's just the same as investing in real estate in the real world, except you'll be investing in virtual real estate that'll be near other businesses, other communities. And yeah, JP Morgan just invested in the metaverse. They believe it's going to be $1 trillion per year industry. And they have a bank located in the metaverse in Decentraland. So there's multiple different metaverse environments. They're all emerging, but for us as African Americans, there's no systemic blocks keeping us from purchasing land that we were bought
Wow.
for
Wow,
more.
that's major.
Yeah, the way that redlining and things like that were done to us back in the early, part of the century, right? So it's really just about us knowing what's available, knowing how to do it, knowing, what CryptoVoxels is, or Sandbox, or Decentraland, or Somnium, et cetera, right? So, and it's really important that our kids get into things like Roblox and other environments that'll get them prepared for the metaverse, because it's really about the kids, to be honest. I mean, we're going to be able to experience it and we're going to benefit from it. And if we invest in the coins that support these metaverses like Mana and Sand and others, I think they will go nowhere but up, similar to how Bitcoin went nowhere but up. Um, but it's just all about knowing. So if you are interested in the metaverse, definitely check out my replays. I do them every Tuesday, where we're all crowdsource information sheets with all the different metaverse environments and how you can get into it. There's obviously Meta, which is Facebook, and you can get to that via Oculus. But yeah, the metaverse is an opportunity to be early adopters, and you know invest in the technology, but also think about what services you do in real life and how you can take that into the metaverse as well. So if you're a real estate agent, you can become a virtual real estate broker. If you have billboards in real life, you can put up virtual billboards in the metaverse. There's just so many different things that can be done. If you're a concert promoter, you can promote concerts in the metaverse. If you do comedy shows, you can do one in the metaverse, and
Oh
sell
my.
tickets via your own token. There's just so much opportunity with this space. And it's like the Industrial Revolution or the Gold Rush. And if you get in early, it has no chance but to go up. And so, yeah, check out my replays. And yeah, I'll just leave it at there for now.
Say, Jared, thank you so much for that. I've got a couple of things for you. Listen, I'm going to be totally transparent here and make an admission. When I first saw people talking about Bitcoin years ago, I said, you have to be absolutely out of your crazy mind to get involved with Bitcoin. when it was pennies. I mean, a penny of a Bitcoin. I totally ignored it. Tell us, what kind of mistake would we be making to ignore the metaverse today at this stage of the game?
Yeah, I mean, look, I would I would say this: spend money on the metaverse like you would in Vegas, on some roulette, right? Like, you don't have to go all the way in, but if you just put your chips across multiple metaverse investments, one of them is going to hit, and they're going to hit big. Mana right now is like $3. I wouldn't be surprised if Mana ends up becoming like 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, $10,000. A share in the future, just because with COVID, with globalization, and just industries getting into the metaverse. I think, and the fact that J.P. Morgan just invested in Decentraland, Snoop Dogg is in Decentraland. Somebody bought a plot of land that's a Snoop Dogg for a couple $100, sold it for a couple 100,000. So it's just like, to me, Decentraland, especially in Mana, I would say it's a big mistake not to at least throw like $100 on it, because in my opinion, that 100 could turn into 100,000. And in Bitcoin, if you would have bought Bitcoin at $1, and say you bought 100 of those, at its peak, it was at $64,000. So 100 times $64,000, you do the math, it's pretty significant. So it's like, um, I would definitely throw just a little bit of money and hold it. Just hold it and see what happens. See what happens in 10 years. And, if you end up making, $100,000 off of it, just buy me a drink. So,
Jared, can you please tell the people who had a concert in the metaverse and how much they made in ticket sales so they can understand that this is happening in real time? And before you answer that, guys, I want you to remember that there was a time we thought it was crazy that people will be selling water. I just want you to know that there was a world where we thought that was crazy that they were going to bottle water. So, Jared, who had a concert?
The very first concert was Marshmallow when the COVID first hit, and my son was there on the front row. 3 million people.
yeah, so Marshmallow, I'm sure, had a huge event in the metaverse, but I'll just put up a link real quick. So Travis Scott made $20 million from a Fortnite event, which Fortnite is, a version of the metaverse, but it's more like a game format. But it's a similar concept. You have an avatar, you walk around in a virtual land, and they had a virtual concert. He made $20 million on one concert. And so, like, the opportunities are endless. Nike is invested in the metaverse. Adidas is invested in the metaverse. Prada, Gucci is invested in the metaverse. And you can have your NFTs in the metaverse as well, which will increase utilities for NFT. So yeah, there's a ton of opportunity, but if you ever want to get really deep into it, definitely check out the room replays. Anything that says metaverse in the title, we get really deep into it. We talk about all the different environments. We talk about how to buy land. We talk about different services that are available, the companies that are getting involved, the coins that support these metaverses, and yeah, I'm very bullish. I'm very excited about it, and to just think, like, if there's a problem you foresee happening in the metaverse, try to be the first to solve it, and be the go-to to solve it, and you can become, extremely, extremely wealthy, because you could be that go-to service. So, yeah, man, crypto, NFTs, metaverse, at least just get to know it. And I think Clubhouse is one of the best places. Like, Clubhouse has a lot of good functions, right? The real estate rooms are great, and the tech rooms are pretty good, but the crypto, NFT, and metaverse rooms, like, that's where you can really get the most value off of, by just being in rooms with people that are actually doing Web 3.0 build outs and projects, and have Oculus, and they can tell you what the experience is like. It's on this app. There's a club called Black Metaverse. Highly recommend following that club. And then Twitter Spaces has a ton of great NFT, metaverse, crypto spaces as well. Um, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of opportunities. So yeah, tap in, and
Wow.
yeah.
Well, a couple of things. Uh, Jared, because you mentioned what you mentioned, um, if Facebook, with the number of people that the members that Facebook has, if they were looking at this and said, "Oh, if Facebook was a country, oh my gosh, how big a country would that be?" And they even changed their name to Meta. Facebook changed their name to Meta. All right. So it's got to be huge. So can you talk to just a tiny bit about the immersive experience of sight and sound, and how your brain is engaged when you have a headpiece on, like the Oculus, and you actually immerse yourself in that metaverse space. What is what is that like? Can you kind of explain it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like those future. You're basically in a virtual 3D environment where you know you can, with your goggles on, be transported into a community with other avatars. You can dress yourself in whatever kind of fashion, and that's going to be a part of the metaverse, as well as, like, you know, picking up the designer shirt, or the whatever fashion you want to have, right? And yeah, you can basically just be in a room like Clubhouse, but it's you're in this virtual environment. So it's just one of those experiences. You got to just experience it yourself to honestly to understand it. But there's I could post, like, on my IG story, my experience in the metaverse, and there's others that you can see on, like, Instagram as well if you search metaverse. But yeah, it's you're literally in a new environment, and you can transport to different worlds and different situations. But the coolest thing about the metaverse is, just like Clubhouse, I can be in a room with somebody from Africa and China and France and Denmark and Hawaii, and we're all talking business. We're talking about ideas, etc. So it's a really good way to connect with people all around the world, and especially early
Wow.
adopters and people that are ahead of the curve in a lot of different ways. So
Wow.
but yeah, that's the metaverse. But I know we got, like, what, 15 minutes left. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to go through one more example before we wrap up, or if you want to just end it on the metaverse. But yeah, no, I think it's an exciting opportunity that everybody should just look into, and do your due diligence. I would say, don't bet your house on a virtual house, but if you have some, like, side income, definitely look into Mana, MANA. That's the coin that funds Decentraland. It's only $3 right now, so throwing like $100 on it, $200 on it, and just letting it sit for like 5, 10 years, I think would be a good idea for sure.
All right. Thank
Jared,
you.
are you going
Th-
to Black Manifest next week?
I did not know about that, so yeah, definitely give me the.
all right. All right, folks. Listen. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
All
we
right.
can hear
Great.
you.
All right, folks. Listen. I want to end up with this example. Just please don't sleep on the metaverse like I slept on Bitcoin. All right. I got a few bit. I got a piece. I got a tiny piece of a Bitcoin right now when I could have had Bitcoins. So, listen, I'm not going to sleep on this metaverse thing. I'm absolutely telling you that right now. But I've got an example on
Don,
the screen. Yes,
before you do your example, can we please
yes,
introduce my brother Kurt the Bank Barnes? He's in the building.
yeah. Oh, Kurt the Bank Barnes in the building. Listen, I want to see Kurt Bank Barnes do the first STR in the metaverse. Kurt, how you doing this morning, sir?
That I would have to consult Jared on that one. Jared, what's your opinion on that? That would be awesome if I can do it. Oh, there's two Kirks on the stage. Wow, we always get mixed up, man.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead, Kirk.
No, but yeah, thank you, Don. Thank you, Kenyatta. Yeah, I'm Kirk the Bank Barnes. I'm just here listening, man. Don. I love your rooms. I love when you do these examples of how you could pay down your interest. And if anybody's not tapping in, man, you guys are missing out. I already told you, Don. I'm tapping in. I want to pay now my interest on my house, man. I need to get this thing done with already, But again, thank you. I'm just here listening, man, and just thank you guys for even inviting me up to the stage. I appreciate you guys.
All right, folks, listen, we're going to do one more thing because right now interest rates are getting ready to rise. And a lot of people are talking about um, what are we going to do when interest rates rise? And it makes people nervous because for years we've been told to get the lowest interest rate possible. You want to start, if you were pinging people in here before, if you were sharing this room before, and if you're new to the room, share it now. If you've already share it again, because people need to know that the truth of the matter is the lower the interest rate, the harder it is to pay the loan off early. What did I just say? Not the higher the interest rate, the lower the interest rate, the harder it is to pay the loan off early. So if interest rates are getting ready to rise, listen, don't let that keep you from purchasing or making financial decisions, because it can only help you, not hurt you, if you know what interest cancellation is all about and the P.I.L.L method. Oh my goodness. So let me show you a couple of things here. I got a $350,000 mortgage on the screen at 3.5%. And many of you have seen this example. I'm going to go over it slightly here. Just first two lines. You see, the principal payment on this loan, or the total payment amount is $1,571.66, but the principal payment is $550 in the first month, and the interest payment is $1,020. Look at that, $1,020 in interest on this loan. So, but month number 2, the principal payment is $552.43. So here's what we need. Here's what we know: that if I make a payment in January and I take a look at February's principal payment, I can prepay. If I had the money, I can prepay this $552.43 early. I can actually pay that money in January. If I did, I'd be paid down to line 2 on this mortgage in January, which means my mortgage payment for February is now on line 3 for the schedule. That means the payment for March moves up one. Payment number 1 is now touching payment number 3. We got rid of payment number 2 for only $552.43 and saved this $1,019.23 in interest we never have to pay. Now, look at what happens. Look at what happens when we lower the interest rate from 3.5 to 2.9. Okay, we're going to, because some people have the interest rates around 2.9, but it could go as high as 3.5. Well, it's not that big a difference in payment, number 1. Okay, so we got 1456.80 as opposed to 1571.66. So that's not a real big concern. But here's the thing: at 2.9% interest rate, look at this. If I want to get rid of payment number 2, it costs $612.44, as opposed to the higher interest rate, and it only cost me $552.43 to get rid of payment number 2. Folks, the lower the interest rate, the higher the principal payment, and you attack the loan with the principal payment. So interest costs you skip don't matter. So this is, well, Don, the interest, well, listen, you give the bank their money back early, you skip a ton of this interest anyway. So interest costs you skip don't matter. Look at the principal payment and control that. Now, here's what I'm saying. Well, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying get the lowest interest rate possible. I'm not saying getting the highest interest rate possible. What I am saying is contact the P.I.L.L method at ice10klive.com. And we will help you to find the right interest rate for your family, for your business, for your church, Whatever it is that you borrowed money on, will help you to find the right interest rate for you that makes sense for you, so that you can control your principal payment and get out of debt cheaper and faster. Now, some of you remember when interest rates were at 12%. I'm going to show you what the loan looked like for all of you people who have been in this room before and have seen what we're talking about and understand. And you say 12%, that is mind boggling. I'm going to show you what could have been done if the P.I.L.L method existed at the time interest rates were at 12%. Here's a $100,000 mortgage. It's right on the screen right now at 12% for 30 years. The payment is $1,028.61. Watch this. We're going to go down to payment number one. Oh my goodness. If we look at it from the bank's perspective, this is crazy money. Only $28.61 went to principal, while $1,000 went to interest. The next month, only $28.90 went to principal, while $999.71 went to interest. Folks, watch this. And please don't ever be afraid of higher interest rates ever again. It's not interest rate that matters, it's interest cost. Watch this. So if we pay in January, payment number one, the principal payment for payment number two or February is only $28.90. You come up with an extra $28.90 in January, you eliminate payment number two and $999 in interest you never have to pay. What? If you pay payment number one and then give the bank the next three principal payments, $28.90, $29.19, $29.48, add all of that up, you knock off three payments with less than $100. Less than $100, you knock off three payments and you save nearly $3,000 in interest you never have to pay. So folks, watch this last thing, Jared, and then I'm turning it over to you so that we can do outro. Watch this. If you take a look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest, look at this. All right. And so we got to come up with a title for this, Kenyatta, because all I can think of is, oh, interest rates are going up. So what? That's the only title I can come up with. So I'm sure you can come up with something catchier than that. But watch this, folks. In 12 months, you would pay this loan down by $362.85, but it would cost you $11,980.47 in interest. If you prepay this $362.85 on line one, you're paid down to line 12 in 1 month. Okay? And you skip all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12. Oh my gosh, you just saved $10,983.78 for giving the bank $362.85 when the interest rate is 12%. Never, ever be afraid of a high interest rate and then try to get a lower interest rate and think you are vastly improving your situation. We can show you at the P.I.L.L method how you can take your high interest rate and make the bank eat it, all right? And save a ton of money and knock out all kinds of interest, save time, save interest, and take that interest savings and put it into building your wealth. Oh my goodness, I was so glad to share this with the folks last night, and we're going to come up with a name for this example, but this is going to be part of our repertoire from now on. Jared, it's time to go home. Let the
Yes,
folks
yes.
know what's going on.
All right. So, one shout out to Alvin Hope Johnson in the audience. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you to everybody that came through the room today. Another great room. If you haven't already, click the greenhouse at the top and follow the club, the P.I.L.L method. Also, make sure you follow Don. When he's on the app, he's talking about the P.I.L.L method. So you want to be in the different real estate and finance rooms that he joins. And also check out all these other moderators as they do their intros and connect with them, give them a follow. You're always curated by who you follow. So if you want to see Credit Goddess run a credit room, or you want to see Valley in a real estate room, or Kirk the Bank talking about commercial lending, you need to follow all of these amazing people. So what we're going to do is quick moderator outros, and then we're going to close the room down. But yeah,
But
make
yeah,
sure
make
you
sure
follow.
you follow.
Can I
Can I
please just
please just
say
say
hello to
hello to
Calvin and
Calvin
thank
and
you for bringing the energy over the weekend. I see you, brother, and it's always a
Don,
great time when we get together. So thank you for coming by the room. Come
something
more, and yeah, you did your thing.
I appreciate that. Much love to you, man. It's all about you guys, man. We had a wonderful time at the Get Access Tour. Always try to bring the energy because that's what it's about. It's about uplifting others and giving back to others. And when you continue to bless people, it comes right back to you. So I appreciate you. And when I first met you at Uncle Alvin's event in Atlanta, man, you just brighten up the room. That beautiful smile you have. Every time I see you, it just brings up my spirit. So I appreciate you also.
All right, Calvin, since you have the mic, you want to introduce yourself?
Calvin Vitalis, man, serial entrepreneur, automotive consultant, real estate investor, partner with Sean 10K with Savage Marketing. Man, we're here for you guys. We're here about people, building entrepreneurs, building marketing brands. Anything we can do, like a good neighbor, Calvin is here.
I love it.
Oh, wow, you're about to get sued. No, I'm just kidding.
Jared, can I say something too? Is that okay?
Sure,
They
sure,
can
yeah.
try. They can try to sue Calvin when I'm in the building. Let's see how that's gonna work out. Back to you, Candace.
I just want to say what a wonderful weekend we had. And I mean, Don is pouring out this information. You guys, please listen to it, take it for heart, do it, take action on it. But what a wonderful weekend with you guys. And I have to tell you guys, if you cannot miss the next one, because being in the proximity of these people and the love that's in the room and the energy and the wonderful people, you don't want to miss it. Okay. Promise you that. So thanks. Great to see all you guys. I'm missing all of you guys already. So thank you for what a wonderful weekend.
All
All
right,
right.
so what we're going to
Oh,
do is go
just a
from the
second.
bottom and head
Ju-
all the way up for
just a second,
moderator
Jared.
outros. So,
Just a second, Jared.
yes.
This is for Kenyatta's sake. Guess who's on camera with me right now, Kenyatta? it's
Is it my buttercup? Is it Patricia?
and yeah, your buttercup and Sean's bestie. Okay,
There you
Jared.
go. That part.
All right, take it away, Jared.
Connection, so I'm trying to get out of here while I can still talk. But Alvin, I would love for you to tell people about your event and when it's happening. Clubhouse Live was an amazing experience for all of us, and it's kind of the OG of the Clubhouse real estate event. So I'd love for you to introduce yourself and just give us an update as to when the next one will be.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, Alvin Johnson, man. Love hanging out with you guys. Uh, Jared, I'm thinking that we're gonna push till August. Been a lot of events this right now, and the Lowe's Hotel where we got this large commitment didn't have a lot of rooms, didn't have a lot of open space. So when we canceled in January, I thought it was going to be April. I thought it was going to be March. And all these dates, we were trying to sync everybody's calendars. And I said last week, forget syncing everybody's calendar. Give us a date in August, and that's when it's going to be. So we'll find that out next week. So that's when we're going to do it, man. And I think we're just going to do probably one annual event now. Uh, so we're going to finish that one in Miami, and then it's going to be great. So looking forward to it. But I will keep you guys updated this week.
All right, perfect. Yeah, everybody, make sure you check out his bio. He's a real estate OG and does amazing rooms on Clubhouse. So definitely make sure you tap in with Alvin. All right, Calvin introduced himself, so let's go. Kirk, Credit Goddess.
Thank you,
Can you?
man. Appreciate you.
No problem, man. No problem. Appreciate you too. So Kirk, yeah, let people know how you can help people with their business and how people can reach out to you. Just keep in mind we're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, so they won't be able to see your Clubhouse profile. So there's a call to action. Let them know verbally.
I thank you, Jared. Yeah, so I'm Kurt Bank Barnes. I'm a business purpose loan broker and a short-term rental operator in New York. So if you guys looking for finances, looking to finance a business, you want to get into trucking, you want to finance your real estate, reach out to me. My number is 914-317-8006. That's 914-317-8006. Whatever it is you need financing with, reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a phone call, and I'll get back to you. Thank you for that, Jared.
Awesome. Credit
Boom.
Goddess. All right, she might be away.
I'm
Again.
here. I'm sorry. Hey, everyone. My name is Rosalora Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. If anyone is credit challenged or looking to improve their credit, you guys can tap in with me on both my Instagram, Facebook at yourcreditgoddess.com. You can hit me up on my website at yourcreditgoddess.com as well. Also on LinkedIn at Rosalora Lewis. All of the access to the links that I just mentioned to you, that is on creditgoddess10k.com. Book your consultation with me. I'm very detailed than I am on this line on Clubhouse, because I am actually tapping into your credit profile. Everyone's credit profile is different. General information is not going to help you progress to the next level if that's what you're looking for. If you want to know exactly how to optimize your credit profile so that way you can gain access to other people's money, is all about optimization, not just the credit score. So definitely tap in with me. Book a detailed credit analysis that will give you your prescription on what you need to do to improve your credit, and so that way you can get to the next level. If you are credit challenged, I do offer DIY and done for you services, so there's no excuse as to why you're not starting your credit journey. So definitely tap in with me. That's creditgoddess10k.com. Thank you guys so much. Have a happy Sunday and a prosperous week.
As always, we appreciate your presence and pray that we've earned the privilege of your time. I am Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I am your real estate solutionist, meaning I can assist you with finding deals in the states of Illinois, Georgia, and Florida, as well as being the official lender in this house, the P.I.L.L method. And that means that I'm a financial service provider, assisting you with fix and flips, business purpose loans, anything that you need regarding making money to make, having money to make money. I am your girl. Um, have a beautiful Sunday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, Valley. All right, Valley is away, but you can check her out at Valley, VALLI10k.com. Up next is Kirk.
All right, this is not the bank. This is Kirk 10K Live.
And
the
Kirk, you're on
live.
mute. You were having feedback when your mic was open, so you're
Oh,
on mute right now.
okay. All right. Cool. 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 Yeah, this is Kirk 10K Live. I love the fact that we have two Kirks in the room: Kirk the bank, and Kirk the producer. I love it. It's a series of Kirks we got here today. Man, I get a chance to be your producer for this show. You can see Don sitting next to me with his lovely wife. That's. Listen, this it's the team that makes the dream work, right? So excited about working with this entire group. All of the moderators you see on stage. So much value that they provide. So many things that they are sharing from their lived experience, and I love how they're able to do that and articulate that for everybody to learn and get value from it. And that's what I love to do, is help people take that message, take what they have to share, and kind of broadcast it to more people in more places with live video strategy, live video marketing. And I do help people who want to do DIY stuff as a live video coach. I've got a masterclass coming up later today, and I'm excited about, and some other things that we are doing with some projects on under my brand as well. Would love for you guys to tap in with me. Would love to spend 15 minutes to just chat about what it is you're doing and how live video could possibly work into your strategy, into your structure as well. All of my information and the link to book the 15-minute meetup is on kirk10klive.com. Again, love this room and this space. Come back tomorrow. We'll be hanging out again to talk about how to pay off your mortgage with the P.I.L.L method.
All right, Candace is on the phone. Kimberly, you're back. Kimberly, if you want to do a quick outro.
Hey, this is Kimberly. Thank you for having me back. Just wanted to mention that everything that we've talked about as it relates to mortgages and the loan amortization schedule, you can think of as a college amortization schedule. When you take out those student loans, it's the same principle that's going to apply. And the other thing I wanted to mention was you have to have good credit in order to be able to sign for your children to be able to get student loans. My name is Kim Brown. I'm Financial Mastery Experience, 35 years in the industry. I help families navigate the college planning and financing process, as well as provide education for retirements. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Up next is YCO.
Hey, hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Queen Kimberly, for saying that. When my son was in college, there was one more year because he had a full ride. And then that last year, that fifth year, I had to take out a Parent Plus loan. Oh, it hurt me to my soul. But she's right. You had to have a 700 or better score if your child was in a private school. My son went to a private Jesuit school. And if you did not do that, then they had to sit out of school. They couldn't finish their degree. So what the Queen is saying is absolutely 100. I'm Tiffany, the Y CEO. I'm an executive business leadership training coach, and I speak all over Clubhouse. And I just left a phenomenal room, phenomenal women leading, and we've been doing a 48-hour Clubhouse Empowerment Summit that is absolutely phenomenal. So you all can tap in. It ends today at 6. I'm also a 3-time award-winning philanthropist, corporate compliance strategist, and I work with some of the best in the business and the industry. And we have leveraged a $1 billion development project here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's going to decrease the issue that we've had in one of our premier Black communities, and it's going to end the redlining stigma that has impacted that community now for almost 25 years. I'm really excited about that. And also, I changed the law in the great state of Ohio at the Supreme Court level, and I rub elbows with a lot of senators, congressmen, and representatives because I'm trying to change and have an impact in our community. Because if it's not about that, then what are we really doing? Just making money, that's not enough for me. So I help business founders and entrepreneurs position their business for the highest ROI and go from good to great, putting the right people in the right job for company growth. And here, my motto is do not build your team for today, build your team for big. Because if you ain't doing it big, then you need to go on to the playground. At the end of the day, I'm here. If you need me, you can tap into me in my back channel. A lot of my replays are there. I'm the YCO10K.com. I also partner with 10K Cards. I'm really excited too that they are done with their conference because I will be in the class tomorrow at 2 o'clock, the Biz Fund Academy, aka the play, and it starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that if you want to tap in, you tap into the queen who is doing that, and you can go to bizfundacademy.com to get signed up. All right, back to you, Kurt.
All right, 10K.
And we're on. Guys, when you sit on a stage like this and you look around and see how many friends you have, then is when you know you're actually on the right path. When you also surround yourself with friends that's in different professions and different areas, that is how you get to move forward faster. You don't have to figure it out alone. Collaborate with the right individuals that can help you move from point A to point B. And that's what we have taken place in those rooms, guys. So I'm Sean Lashley, the founder of 10K Cards and the co-founder of Savage Marketing with my partner Kevin Vitalis. And we are here to make a tremendous difference for the lives of professionals on and off Clubhouse. If you have any marketing needs, if you want to promote yourself or your brand, definitely tap into me, hit me up on the back channel, or just go to sean10k.com, send me a message, and let's get you a consultation call set up. But while I'm in this room, my main focus is to ensure that the message Don is putting out to the community is well received, which is one, get a copy of his book, cross references, research him, check him out. And then when you're satisfied with the results that you got from him, fill out your savings and earnings report. And after you've successfully completed those two steps again, it's one, get a copy of his book. Two, fill out the savings and earnings report. Let's get you a reward, which is a 10K card. So when you're finishing with the first two steps, click on the button that says get your 10K card, upload your receipt, and let's build out your card to match your specification. Because
And you're welcome.
at the end of the day, if that card is going to represent you at its highest level, you win, we all win, your family will thank all of us in the end. All right. So with that said, Queen Tiffany, shout out to you. Love what you're doing. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing in the background. And I can't leave this mic without saying that. All right. With that said, back to you, Kurt.
All right. And yeah, when it comes to me, just check out my bio, check out my replays. If you're interested in seeing these in person or live, feel free to give me a follow and you'll see the rooms I do. With that being said, I'm passing the mic to Don and we will close it out.
Don, you are muted. Go ahead.
All
Yep.
right.
We,
All right. You should be hearing me okay now, right?
yep.
All right, folks. Listen, thank you for coming into the room today. Thank you for sharing this the fastest 2 hours on Clubhouse and on social media to date. I have such a good time sharing this information. I want you to know that I appreciate the fact that you are here. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been doing anything else, but you shared your valuable time with us. So now, for Patricia and myself, Don Daniel, ICE, 10klive.com. I want you to know that you can also get the book, which as of last night was a #1 bestseller on Amazon. So not only get the book, but get your 10K card as a result. Also, when you have an opportunity, you also want to get your savings and earnings report. Go to the same card, ICE, 10klive.com. Click on the button that says get a savings and earnings report, and you too can know the month, day, and year you can be debt free and how much interest you can save. Well, folks, listen, we're going to be heading back to Huntsville in just a few minutes as we shut this thing down for today. And we'll be back on tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, giving you more valuable content, telling you the truth about how loans actually work, how you can pay off all of your debt in 7 to 9 years. And buy and hold investors, oh my gosh, you can cash out refi 7 to 10 years sooner at a much lower interest cost, taking those interest savings and and then invest those into building your portfolio. I'm excited to talk about that tomorrow. So thank you again, folks. We're shutting it down now. See you tomorrow. Kurt Nugent, take us out.